Welcome to our Plugs community.
Do well. Good evening, everybody. Hold on. Good evening, everybody. You're listening to the Our Plugs community calendar, and we'd like to say good evening to everybody that's here. If you can hear me, say good evening. Yeah, I know. Say good evening. We got Miss Jack. We got Alagoas here, and we're waiting for our wonderful host, Miss DJ Kitty Cat. And we're just happy to be here. And here she is, our hostess. But let's do this right quick and help her out and give her a little something, something to do until this intro. I like this intro. Let's play the intro for the hostess. Wait, let me get this right quick.
Let me play it again.
Welcome to our Plugs community connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Let's try this again. Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me? I hope you guys can hear me okay. Mrs. Jack, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I absolutely can. Good evening. Good evening and happy Wednesday. Wednesday, January 22nd. We are here. You're listening to DJ Kitty Cat. I'm from Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. I have in the studio with me Mrs. Jack and Ollie Gold and Mr. Mac from the Mac Man Morning Show. I hope everyone's in, buckled up, grabbed you something warm to drink, and are in a great mood because today is another day that God has given us to be here and be great. With that being said, how is everyone doing today? Mrs. Jack, how are you?
I am wonderful. I figured once God wakes me up, it's my turn. Take the reins and make the best out of the day that you can, because why waste the day that God has given you?
Amen, sister. Amen. And that is so true. Why waste a day? Mr. Mac, are you back in the studio? Let's see. Let me see if I can add him to the
Yeah, I'm
stage.
here. I am here. Here
Right.
I am. I'm here. Can you hear me?
I
Can you
can.
hear me?
I can hear you just
All
fine.
right. Well, good evening. Well, good evening to you, Miss Kitty Cat. How are you?
You know, today is a blessed day. Today is a blessing. And that's how you have to take every day. It's a blessing to actually be here and be alive. Let me speak to my brother, Ali Gold. Are you out there, Ali? Can you hear us?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Can you hear me?
I can. So, how are you this evening, Ali?
Well, this weather is no joke.
This weather is crazy. I'm about to get into it. This weather is absolutely crazy.
I still see people walking around with slippers and short sleeve and shorts. I'm like, you better dress appropriately because, you
Yeah,
know, not because it's warm, usually you got to dress for the weather, right? Not for
absolutely. And speaking of the weather, let's just hop right into it. We have had snow in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. And this is unprecedented. It's unheard of. I can't remember the last time it snowed in Texas, much less a blizzard in Louisiana, in New Orleans, of all places.
Right.
So we've got crazy weather. And then, unfortunately, we've lost 5 people due to the storm. We still have some airports that are closed. We have schools that are closed and streets that are closed. And I'm praying that everyone stays inside, stays safe. I'm praying for the unhoused because they take the brunt of the hit because they don't have the coverage that they need. So I'm praying that they're somewhere getting some sort of relief from this weather. Not to mention that this was a historic storm. It hasn't happened in centuries. And so, I think it's just a sign of the times of what, unfortunately, what we have to come, what's coming, but it's okay because we have each other. So as long as we all stay bundled up and connected on where we need to go, and if you are out and about in this weather, stay safe, find you somewhere safe. I'd like to switch just a bit and talk about the California fires because they are still raging. As of today, LA County fires has engulfed over 5,000 acres. Believed unalived 28 people, and dozens are still missing. So our prayers are with our brothers and sisters in California, our brothers and sisters impacted by the snow, the storm. It's unprecedented times once again, but as a nation, we will get through this. We will bundle up. We will provide coverage for those who need it. And we will get through this as we get through everything else. Tonight, I wanted to hop right into what we have planned for tonight. So tonight, you've got a treat. Mrs. Jack is joining us tonight, and Mrs. Jack gets on TikTok Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock Eastern, and she helps folks with their mental health. And tonight, she's going to bless us with some encouraging words and how to get through some things that we've heard over the last couple of days that can and will and is affecting all of us. So that being said, I want to go ahead and take a second. Let's go ahead and have a commercial. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this commercial. Just give us a second. We're going to jump right into our commercials. And the first one I think we're going to go into
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios.
Having a little technical difficulty. Just hold on just 1 second. I've got another commercial loading.
Hey guys. Yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're here with DJ Kitty Cat. We've got Mrs. Jack and we've got Ollie Goat and Mr. Mac tonight speaking with us over the airwaves. And you guys are in for a treat. Mrs. Jack, can you help out the community? Can you give us some encouraging words and give us some guidance on how to get through these next few years with what we're faced with? Go ahead, Mrs. Jack.
Of course. First, I want to give you this daily quote. It's about self-care. It says, I will honor my need to rest and recharge. I am committed to finding me time today. I embrace my best self today. I choose to live in a way that will bring peace, joy, and happiness to myself and others. I choose to let go of the old. My new path is before me. Today, my new life begins. I persevere. I am relentless. I keep going. I have released all of my negative thoughts and replaced them with positive ones. Today is the beginning of whatever I want. I think that's powerful. If you can say that every day and look at that every day to start your day, you already get off on the good foot, so to speak. The thing that I wanted to tell everybody was, of course, we had elections that did not go our way. And right now we're in the midst of a new administration, and I'm pretty sure people are getting overwhelmed with everything that they're seeing. The new administration put out new laws and rules, and people may lose some benefits, and everybody's getting overwhelmed. So I want to just speak a little bit on how to kind of maintain your mental health and keep yourself sane. Just some techniques and things that you could do to help ease it. The first thing is to turn off the noise. Turn off social media, go outside, go to dinner with friends. You have to disconnect yourself from everything that we've been seeing. If you don't give yourself a break, your mind is going to be cluttered and it's going to keep you stressed out. Okay, so that's tip number one. Turn it off. Go away. Number two is don't panic. Prepare yourself. If there's going to be a missing benefit or something that, you have to prepare for extra bills or something like that, try to start you a new business. Prepare to keep your mind occupied on something opposite and something that will help you take care of your life, which also will relieve stress. Number three, when you do go on social media, start looking at different things. Change your algorithm. Put in happy puppies, animal videos, whatever you do that makes you smile. Start searching for those things, and it can increase and change your algorithm so that you're not seeing the same things, drain you mentally every day. And then finally, hang around positive people. It can only rub off on you. How can you be negative and sad and stressed out when you're hanging around super positive people? And that's kind of like a life mantra as well. So those are my tips for how to protect your own mental health when you're dealing with the fallout and stress out about this new election.
That's beautiful. And it's so needed because right now, just as you said, so many people are actually devastated and terrified. We've got the unknown approaching, and thus far, we've been hit with everything negative. I noticed that, it's a removal of everything, stripping us of everything. And it's time. Yeah. And the only thing that we can do is pull back and take a break. If you need to take a break from social media, from mainstream media, I encourage that. It's hard enough living life as it is, the everyday. But when you are in fear of the unknown, it's terrifying. So if you find yourself in that space, please take a second to regain and reclaim your time and catch your snap. It's easy to go down that doom and gloom tunnel, but just know that we're all in this together. None of us will have to go through this by ourselves. It's a whole nation of us going through this. And unfortunately, it's what some people voted for, not realizing the impact of their vote. You know, I hate it for so many of us, including myself. But the only thing that I think that we can do is look at what can we do to save ourselves? What can we do to not feel
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed is a good word.
We stress
Overwhelmed.
ourselves out sometimes more than we need to. And so we don't really know how to react to it. We don't know how to fix it. Instead of just taking a deep breath, calming ourselves down and relax and reset. You have to reset. There's no way. You have to, for me and probably for Ollie Gold as well, you know, we're military veterans. We couldn't afford to be stressed out and able to function fully and be fit to fight. So you have to compartmentalize these things, put it in the back of your mind, and then focus on something else, because you have to push through your day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you find yourself in a space where you feel yourself spiraling, take a second, sit down, drink you some water, and just take deep breaths and understand that this too shall pass. This isn't forever. This is just for now. And until we can make those changes in a couple years, we have to hold on. We have to hold on to each other. We have to hold on to our community, and we have to make sure that our community stays connected. And that's the whole premises for our plugs. It's so that the community can understand that you are not alone. We have other people that you can reach out to. We have the know and the wherewithal to understand what you're going through and what you're going to go through, and you're not alone. And I implore everyone, find you something that you can do that you can stop and say, it's not going to be as bad as I think. It's going to be okay. As long as you have breath in your body, you are here to fight another day. And that's all we can do. Ali Goat, any thoughts on this? I see you shaking your head. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's always hope. If you lose hope, then you ain't got nothing else, right? So we have to always focus on hope and making sure that your mental health is as important as your physical health.
Exactly.
Your mental health is as important as your physical health. So, yeah, we just got to make sure that we do what we need to do to protect ourselves in every way when it comes to diseases or financial issues. You know, just like how you take care of your car come on and you got to go make sure you get the oil change. Yeah, you got to make sure that you're fresh and you reset, you know, and replenish all those things that you expend. So, yeah.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. You know, self-care is so important. You know, go get your nails done, go get a massage, you know, go for a walk. Go sit in the park and take deep breaths. Not now because it's cold, but you know, do something to get your mind off of the unknown, because we're not going to, you don't want to stress yourself out to the point that you're going to make yourself sick. So we are here to encourage everyone, find something to do, throw yourself into that, stay focused, connect with a community organization and get busy. You know, that's all we can do at this point, and hold on. We have each other, and there's nothing that's going to stop us from understanding that this too shall pass, as my mother would say. This too shall pass. It's not forever. It won't last forever. What's the song? Trouble doesn't last always. It doesn't
Yes.
last always. So we find something else to focus on. And then if you must come back to it, come back to it. But understand and know that this isn't the final. This isn't it. The game isn't over. It's just, this is temporary. And once we reclaim our time, we'll be all right. And until then, we have each other. You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7, The Change. I'm going to go ahead and take another quick commercial break. Just stand by, you guys. Let's take a deep breath. You guys, get you some water, get you something to sip on, and let's enjoy some another commercial from our talented and gifted people in our community. Let's see, Miss Sparkle.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC takes custom to a whole new level. You are guaranteed to find a gift for that special someone or even a customized gift for yourself. So head on over to my Etsy shop, Sparkle Kicks LLC, and start your personalized order today. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Have a great day.
You know, I find myself singing that song in the shower sometimes, Mr. Mack. I just want you to know that's a catchy tune. I find myself singing it.
Don't you? Well, I'll say this. Let me say this real quick. Hey, listen, you're doing a great job. I'm here to support everything that's going on. Hey, brother Aligola and everybody that's here. And you said something. I'm just going to interject just a little bit. We as a people are visionaries. And I just believe that God deals with us as a people a little bit different than he deals with everybody else. And in some cases, our dreams, our visions get a little bit difficult. For some reason, a monkey wrench is thrown at some point. But you know something, you can repair things and you have the knowledge to do so. And I was thinking about say, well, when can I just take? I want to take I just want to take one more, a whole week. Get ready, Miss DJ Kitty Cat. A whole week ain't broadcasting. I ain't no morning show. James
Now,
Magritte.
hold on a second.
I got
Mr.
nervous. Wait now.
You're hitting me with it. You're trying to take PTO. Prepare the others. Hold on now.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking. The importance of taking care of yourself and having that separation of doing so. You can get so tied up into into what we're doing, broadcasting and everything. We can get all tied up in our business with our plugs and trying to get things to go. But in the midst of things, have you ever, you get to a point where you got like, man, can I get me a little rest? Or if I do, I'm scared because the momentum that I got going, I want to keep it. I just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, have y'all felt like that? I mean, I felt like that, and I know prayer helps, and my relationship with God helps. But I find myself a little often sometimes like, man, you got to maybe you'll sleep a little later or do something like this. But for those of you that are veterans in the entrepreneurial field, help me out a little bit, not to stress myself. And you got another brother that's here. I'm going to step back, Miss Kitty, for a second.
Sure, absolutely. Well, Mr. Mack, I would suggest doing just that. Sometimes you do have to just take a step back. Some things can be overwhelming, especially when you're going 90 miles an hour all the time. You can't do it all. Some things you just have to let it lie where it falls, and pick back up after you've refreshed yourself. I have to remind myself of that also. I'm constantly, because I have a 9 to 5 on my Black job, and I get off of my Black job and I come on and I work on, our plugs. But I have to tell myself I have to step back as well because I'll burn myself out. But I have a great team of people who I lean on and they pick up the slack without any issues. And I love that. I love the fact that I don't have to do it all. I have Mrs. Morningstar, Mrs. Jack, I have Oligo, DC, powerful Black woman, Bunny. We have a team. Andre, we have a team. And I love that. And now that we've collaborated with WKRA MacMan Morning Show, it's gotten a lot easier. A little bit more work, but it's so worth it. So I hope that helps you, Mr. Mack. And I hear it in your voice. I know you want to take PTO, but we just started, so you're gonna have to give us at least a month. Before we move on, I want to take a moment to say thank you, Mr. Salutations. We have a guest tonight. Mr. Salutations, I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to go ahead and introduce you and then you can tell us all about yourself. Mr. Salutations, you show up on our lives and it's so appreciative. We appreciate the fact that you come in and you give us encouraging words to keep moving forward. You allow us to be us and you help us to see that, hey, it's going to be okay. You have so much knowledge and I'm so pleased that you've agreed to come and bless us with your knowledge tonight. For those who don't know, Mr. Salutations is on TikTok. We use our TikTok names for animated, to remain anonymous. Because, things are crazy nowadays. But we have Mr. Salutations who has joined us tonight. Mr. Salutations, come on in, come off mute, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, shoot, I've been thinking about this all day. What's not to know about me? I've been in all over the country, in all the countries in the world. Anybody that was a minority, I would go to them first. Even in the military, I go in poor neighborhoods. I was born in Cleveland. I was raised in Detroit. I was a baby in '66, so that means that just before the '68 riots, and we were right in the neighborhood. We just moved there. And so I grew up in Detroit, and along the way meeting Miss Rosa Parks, because she was a friend of my mother's, she worked with her, So if you see me striving for greatness, I will never stop striving for Black excellence and greatness. I will never stop. I will never stop learning. We can't possibly know it all, and they show as hell can't possibly know it all. You know what I'm saying? So my thought process to that is I rise, like Maya Angelou says. I do that on a daily basis. But going from Detroit, and I'm let me catch myself. So I went from Detroit, graduated high school in Flint. I went from Flint to Fort Devens, Massachusetts. From Fort Devens, Massachusetts to Pirmasens, Germany. And I came back and went back across the other side of the country and ended up living in the Bay Area for about 15 years. I love that place. I got a lot of game out there. You know what I'm saying? So I was homeless at times out there, and I was homeless in the street out there in California back in, what was that, 96? This old lady came up to me and said, well, if you're going to be eating beans and rice every day, you might as well get an education. So I went to school and I was homeless. So I would have to find how you take care of people jobs. I did that, to live in. So while I studied, I've done that. The one thing that I am appreciative to in the entire world is God. I'm gonna call him God. I'm not gonna say through anybody, just God himself. Always, when I graduated from college, and I did it twice, and I took a minor in electronic engineering technology years and years ago. Anyway, um, I was always able to get a job that connected with the book study that I had in school. So I was able to get the experience as well. Um, Part of my resume, as far as professional, I ran 5 banks in the Bay Area. Cal State Non-Credit Union. One was in San Francisco. One was in Oakland. One was in Concord. The other one, I would like to say the one I ran, the bank I ran was in Hayward. So I was
So
counting millions.
you
Huh?
went from you went from being homeless to going to school and running banks.
Running banks. As a matter of
That's
fact,
how you do it.
if you think I'm lying, I know that anybody that's in the information technology field did Y2K testing at their job.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
1999, everybody did Y2K testing. I bet you that.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And I had to
I
do it
think
for
I'm
five
aging
banks.
myself.
I also had to do that for 5 banks. So
Yeah.
I was deep into the technology. You can get burned out in that stuff. I'm gonna tell you that now. Um, then when I came over, I left there. I left California, came back to Massachusetts because my grown kids are here, and they didn't seem to want to do nothing. I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna show you something. And I went in and grabbed me another degree in accounting. Took that little of education, worked for a specialty pharmacy, and I was doing the cost of goods sold for somewhere around $250 million. That was just the cost of goods sold. I ain't even talking about Blue Shield and Blue Cross and the umbrellas you got to go under just to get to the person that, you know, oh, got your money and ain't paying it. And I had to do that for the company.
I know that's
I
right.
had to chase after, and then put it on an Excel spreadsheet and said, this is what it is, broke it down to who, what, when, where, and how. Anyway, I done that too.
So it sounds like, Mr. Salutations, you have a huge resume.
I
A
do.
big, yes, a huge resume. Continue. I'm sorry.
I worked at Amazon too, though. I mean, I don't discriminate when it comes to work. I gotta eat. I worked at True Green. I worked at, Shoe Met. What's the name of that shoe? It's real big. I worked for a
I'm
shoe
not sure.
company and shit. It'll come back to me. I've
Yeah.
worked, but see, I got to give you a little history on me. When I was a teenager, I ran with some high-powered gangs. I could see in 1981. I could see a kid. I seen a kid, and all of us, counting $2,000 on the pinball machine. You know what
You've
I'm
come a
saying?
long way.
That's
You've come a
that's in
long way,
'81. That's in '81 in Detroit. '81.
You've come a long way. You've come a long way. So what are you doing today, Mr. Salutations? What are you doing now?
Well, even though we lived in these streets, you know what I'm saying, and had to deal with everything that had to come in with it, everything that came with it. Um, I would have to agree with Jay-Z when he said it was about getting out the street, not staying in it.
Yeah.
It was about
Yeah.
rising and getting to that higher level, that higher plateau for your betterment.
Yeah.
But see, the thing
What,
is, I don't like this. You can't step on toes to get there. You have to work and get your own.
yeah. And that's a message that I feel like our youth need to hear now. They need to hear that. Is that me with the feedback? Let me go out and then I'll take over really quick. That's me with the feedback.
So I got a question for you. What would you tell your 18-year-old self today if you had to go back and talk to yourself and give yourself some advice?
Not a god dog thing. We here for a reason. We went through those hard things for a reason, but that don't mean you have, we fall down, but we get back up. And
Yeah,
sometimes we get up and keep going up. You fall
that's
down,
true.
you get up. I mean, I don't have to.
That's true.
Would you at least tell them that part though? Would you at least tell them, hey, look, daddy or young kids, I did my life. This is what I went through. This was my path. These were my struggles. You have to find your own way
This
and
is
make
what I
your
tell
own way.
my son and my grandsons, and I've been throwing, banking rules and all that stuff in their face. I keep it. I keep them. Anytime they see me, they're gonna hear something about banking somewhere and laws of averages and
I had an uncle
what's
like
that?
that.
The rule of 72.
Right. My
I'll
uncle was
always
like
keep
that.
that.
He
You
would
know the
see you
rule.
coming and be like, oh, here he come. That's how you got to keep the kids, the young kids. They've got to know when you come, they got to bring some knowledge. They either going to run away or they going to stay there and listen to it. That's how you got to get them.
Yeah, pretty much. But I got to. That's what the entire community have to do. They got to get them young. They got
Yeah.
to. They got to get that financial information, that financial education piece into their psyches. Because if not, they'll. My son would be doing the same thing out of his pocket that I did
Right.
at that time.
Right. And they're not learning it in school. So you have to give it to them, from the family. Everything starts at home. We know the things they
Unless,
don't teach.
unless you're in a private school. The
Yeah.
only time that they don't do it is in public school, and now they about to wipe out the whatever. I don't know what they doing. I don't even watch politics no more. I'm not. I'm already peed off because my Lions lost. So I just sit down with my big
But
bag of
Ohio
popcorn.
State won,
I
did
go
they
on
not?
TikTok. Look here, I'm doing this here, and y'all got me. Hey,
Ohio.
you got me. You got me. I'm in. I'm gonna give feedback. You got me.
Good.
Yes,
So
Ohio State did win, Mrs. Jack.
Yes.
And
They
those
won.
who are rooting for Ohio, they're super happy. I know Mrs. Morningstar and her husband Frank have said it many times that Ohio State won. And for all those who were rooting for Ohio, I'm happy for you. And that's how I'm going to leave it.
I'm
Ohio
not.
won.
I'm a born Buckeye, but I am not a Buckeye. I'm a raised Wolverine. I'm sorry. I'm a
What about the
raised Wolverine.
What about
You
the
know,
Super Bowl? Who are you going for? We know DC. DC is going for the Commanders. They are on a historic run. So
these. I think Buffalo's gonna win it.
You think Buffalo's going to take it this year?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't
That
know.
that kid, that one they keep hyping up, unless they bust him up and break him down, you know,
I
because
don't know.
that quarterback got wheels. I'm telling you something. That
We
quarterback
shall
got
see.
wheels.
Well,
All
once
them
the
quarterbacks
Texans
got
and the
wheels.
Cowboys lost, I pretty much tuned out. After the Texans lost,
I'm not a
but
Cowboys
the
fan, but the Texans, those boys are up and running.
yeah,
They're
we'll
gonna be
see.
back. They are going to
Commanders
be
are
back.
doing good too, though.
But Mr. Salutations and you guys, we say this, and I'm a Texans fan. We say this every year about the Texans, and I'm tired of getting my feelings hurt. Like seriously, every
No,
year.
they basically only need one or two really good playing veterans on their team, and they'll be all right.
What you
We'll
think,
see.
Oswald? I see you up there making faces.
But see, I'm not gonna give you all your juice because I am still a Lions fan.
Uh, I want to see two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Didn't we have that last year?
That was in the what the ooh,
I
that
want to
was
see
in
it
the
again.
divisional. That was in the divisional.
What
I
was the
want to see
division?
it again. Can we see it again and again and again? I mean, we got some good teams, and man, this whoever wins this one, they won because the whole team play a whole game. Because defense and offense, they are you could win, you could score points by defense, you could score points on the offense. So it is going to be a good Super Bowl. I mean, the playoff
We
games are
shall see. I'm going to say that we shall see. We may have to have a Super Bowl live and watch it all together. So it's going to be interesting if nothing else. But you know,
it,
the Texans aren't in it again, so I'm not too enthusiastic again.
so
So
if y'all want to follow Mr. Salutation or DJ Kitty or um, you know Miss Jack,
Mrs. Jack.
go to the description on our plugs on YouTube, and you'll see their TikTok information. You click on it, and make sure you give them a follow and TikTok, and also make sure you follow our plugs. Make sure you follow the Matman Morning Show. Make sure that you subscribe, turn on all the notifications on TikTok and also on YouTube. All right, and that will be a good thing for us. That'll help the engagement. That'll help bring in more people, and we appreciate everybody tuning in right now. I see those some folks in the chat. DC, powerful black woman. I see you. Yeah, y'all are, yes, I see Dolphin. Who else did I see?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we got some people out here on both channels, so we appreciate y'all. Gail, I see y'all out here, so we appreciate y'all coming through and sticking with us. Yvonne, I see you too. Antoinette came through earlier, and shouts out to Miss Morningstar, and shouts out to everybody listening that's not in the chat and just listening.
Yes, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection, WKRA 92.7, The Change. I keep getting feedback, so I don't know what that is, but I'm going to say this. Hopefully, it doesn't sound too bad on you guys' end. I'm just hearing it. You know how we're on TikTok and we hear that echo. You got an echo. Come back in, go out, come in, turn your go into airplane mode. That's how we fix it on TikTok. I don't know how to fix it on a laptop, but we're gonna try and figure it out. I'm gonna say this. Thank you for tuning in. You can be anywhere tonight, but if you come through and show us some love, we truly appreciate it. This is what Our Plugs, the Community Connection, is about. We bring in special guests. We talk it out. We talk about what's going on in the community. We hope that we are giving you educational information and uplifting information that you can use because we are going to get through this. We don't have a choice. You know, when you don't have a choice, your back is up against the wall, you know, what do? We are standing up and we fight. And that's all we can do. That's right, Miss Morningstar. Loving my crew. And thank you, what is that, Joanna? Thank you for letting me know I sound okay. Maybe it's just on my end that I'm hearing it. But again,
It went away when Mr. Sanitation went on mute.
Okay. So it might be his connection. But it's all good. Mr. Salutations, we're going to take a quick break. No. That's okay. We've got a few minutes. We've got a few more minutes. So I have a.
I could fill in with some sports stuff. Of course,
here we go.
No, not heavy, but we talked about the playoffs.
Go ahead.
But the picture is good. In golf, the 2025 Farmers Insurance has adjusted its schedule to start on Wednesday. Today, right? And so if you're into golf, look out for that. The change aims to avoid clashing with the NFL, AFC, and the NFC championship games on Sunday. So that's why they did that, if you were wondering, right? In college basketball, number 23, West Virginia Mountaineers are set to face the Arizona State Sun Devils on Tuesday. Well, that was yesterday, right? So if you saw that game, you can put it in the chat who won, because I didn't see that. I don't tend to watch college basketball or college, any college things, right? Unless it's like a playoffs where I could enjoy, right? And of course, we talked about the NFL, but ESPN, you could follow, you could catch the playoff games on whatever platform you want to catch it on, right? And we already know some folks already got their team locked in no matter what, right? So if you are gonna watch the game, make sure you're safe, make sure you don't barbecue inside, even if it's cold outside. Take that grill and keep it outside, right? And hopefully your team wins. And that's all I got to add right now. So, like I said, I want to see two quarterbacks, preferably the Eagles and the Chiefs. That's what I want to see, because I want to see Saquon Barkley do his thing, because the Giants drop the ball. No pun intended. But that's all I'm going to add to that.
Thank you, Mr. Ali Gold. I appreciate you for filling in with the sports. We've already covered the weather. We're going to go ahead and break for commercial, and we'll be right back with a few more questions for Mr. Salutations. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We can never thank you enough for this opportunity. Let's get right into our commercials. And this one, I think this one is my favorite commercial. I love them all, but this one right here is my favorite.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
And welcome back.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC takes custom to a whole new level. You are guaranteed to find a gift for that special someone, or even a customized gift for yourself. So head on over to my Etsy shop, Sparkle Kicks LLC, and start your personalized order today. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Have a great day.
And we are back. Go ahead, Ali, go take it away. I heard you. Go ahead.
Listen, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing well out there. Like, we talked about the weather earlier, and we definitely got to make sure that we, stay warm, stay safe, right? So if you're out there, make sure that you bundle up. Make sure you're drinking water. When it's cold, I realize that people tend not to drink a lot of water when it's cold, because you're not hot and you don't feel thirsty as well, but you still could be dehydrated when it's cold. So make sure y'all are taking care of your hydration. And I need to drink some more water myself too. So after this, I'm definitely going to be drinking some water. All right. Welcome to Zeus. Thank you, Zeus. Yesterday, not yesterday. Zeus came through and he dropped some gems. Mr. Salutation is dropping some gems right now. We got Miss Jack, here with us, and we got our folks in the chat and folks listening, and we appreciate everybody that took the time out to be here and come on the platform to share their knowledge and their experience, because like Mr. Salutation was saying, we got to get through those things, because though you learn from those hardships and those lessons. The lessons are those lessons you can't teach. You can't teach experience. So that was a great point of view that that was brought to the forefront.
Absolutely, I agree with that. So I have a few questions that I put together that I'd like to ask you, Mr. Salutations, and we would like to hear your expertise. Number one would be, what are some tips that you can give someone who's starting a business? What are some tips that you can give?
Always pay your taxes. Always keep your state and local um, paperwork together. Be honest with your customers. You know, um, and I don't. I mean, when somebody exchange monies to you, and you need to make sure that they have that product. But I'm not. Uh, and the customer service. It's a couple of people I want to see make up. I'm on. That's on God. You know what I'm saying? Because they're good people, and I'm gonna leave
I
that
am.
alone. I'm gonna
Yeah, we're
leave.
going to leave that one alone, but I do understand where you're coming from, Mr. Salutations, and we're just going to let God handle all of that. And in the meantime and in the between times, we're going to keep it moving and keep on trucking. As my daddy used to say, keep it moving, keep on trucking, because we've got things to do. And the devil is busy, so,
Okay.
but God, our God is busier.
A lot of
Um,
people don't realize that Rosa Parks was a fighter. She was not a little fragile, docile little woman. A lot of people don't know that she was always in the mix, fighting for change. We don't got a lot of time. We need, and we are all we got.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
You know,
it's going to take all of us to get through this. And, as a team, when one person is down, it's up to the other people to lift them up and keep them covered. And as a team, we will do just that. And we are going to move forward, and we're going to fight for exactly what we need in this lifetime, and not just in our lifetime. The plan is to make sure that our children and their children and their children have an opportunity, one that they don't want to give us. If you think about it, you really sit back and think about it, what's happening now in this country is stripping us of all opportunities for our future. But it's up to us to say, no, we
so
are
let's go
not getting
socioeconomic.
through.
Let's go socioeconomical, or at the bottom of the and how people get down. Lyndon B. Johnson said the most powerful thing in this country was the black family. Why do you
That-
think they're all broken up and stuff? That was planned. That was planned from the jump, and nobody paid any attention.
I don't think that they had the opportunity back then to pay attention. Now we have TikTok. Now we have social media. Now we have a way to communicate that they didn't have back then. So, unfortunately, back then, our ancestors took the brunt of the most cruel punishment just for being alive from at the hands of people who were destructive. But now we as a community, we as a country, we are banding together. And I'm not just speaking on African American Black people, I'm speaking on all minorities and even some white people. I know that we have allies out here who are standing 10 toes down with us because they realize this is not only affecting us, this is now affecting everyone. If
Okay,
you are
so as
not
far
up
as starting,
1%,
let
it's
me get.
affecting everyone. Go ahead, Mr. Salutation.
So at first, when you go to start a business, you want to do a SWOT analysis. You want to make sure that you can work on your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. You want to have a niche market. The niche market goes at the bottom of that's the bottom of the Maslow hierarchy chart. That's the people. You got to see what people like. You got to take molds. You got to pose and check the modes, the MODEs. You got to check those things. So you know, basically, so you know that you're getting the right people to work for your business.
Now, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
You're putting out
Go
some
ahead.
terms, and I don't think everyone knows these terms or where you got these terms from, because you said SWOT and then you said modes, and you know the definitions of them, but we got to be
Okay,
realistic for people
right
out
on.
in the world.
A SWOT analysis is something I learned in college,
Okay.
and Maslow's hierarchy theorem, chart and theorem was, you had the self-esteem, you had the, this family and all this, and at the very top of it, it's a triangle. At the very top of it is self-actualization. And so with self-actualization means that you are knowledgeable and strong enough to know that you can walk through anything,
Hmm.
even alone, and
I like
and be okay with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's about self. That's about I can walk in my purpose.
I like that. I like that
That's
so
what
much,
that
Mr.
is.
Salutation. I do. I like that. And I'm gonna adopt that theory also because, sometimes you feel like I can't do it. But even if you're alone, with the strength of God, you can do anything you put your mind to do. It's nice. I'm going to tell you this. It is nice. It is a blessing to have a team. I couldn't be any happier than I am now because my team, that's my backbone. And like I said, when one is down, the others lift us all up. And that's what's most important, that we are fighting this fight together as a team.
I'm just pissed off that this country. I had to dummy down for the crap that they're doing in this country. I had to keep dumbing down. I had to take a college course that was like right before Christmas, just so I can get something to critically challenge my brain, my thinking, my
Yeah,
studying habits, my all of that.
yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. What Miss Parks told me, and here's the message: don't stop learning, because life is not going to stop teaching.
Ain't that the truth?
Period. It's not
Now
going to
that
stop.
needs to go
So
on the shirt.
That's a
that
great
means
mantra.
lifelong learning. You got to constantly keep learning about what's going on in your environment, what's going on around you, what's going on with your people, what's going on. You got it. It's nonstop,
It's the
but it's
truth.
necessary.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Salutation. Let's go to another question. What is your philosophy on money matters in the Black community?
Well, I think I was putting a little bit out of in when I first started talking. Um, I believe with my whole heart that we need to start educating our children about finance, about agriculture. We need to teach them and get them taught along with their studies, your mathematics and all of that. Hey, I love algebra. You know what I'm saying? So, but we got to, hey, somebody, there was a post on there, and I post a lot of quirky posts due to the fact that it kind of makes you think, and it makes me think. So with my 69,000 thoughts that go through my head, I just pop one up and put it on there. But what I'm saying is, we got to teach them kids, man.
Yes.
Some of them. You know what? Some of them times I got my ass kicked in the street, and I did a lot of ass kicking back.
Now we on the radio,
Look,
Mr. Salutation, so we're gonna have
but
to
yeah, I got my butt kicked.
cut.
It taught me a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always about something and a decision that you made. It's about them consequences. Everything that you do has either a negative or a positive consequence, all the way down to your attitude. You either have a positive attitude or you have a negative attitude. But everybody always call it a attitude when it's negative. No, there's two attitudes.
You're
You see what I'm
absolutely
saying?
correct. And I will say this, Mr. Salutations, when you say we have to teach our children, I agree with that so much. And we have DC, he's over in the comments, and he is our mentor. He's managing our mentor program, and I cannot wait. He'll be on the radio here shortly, probably next week or the week after. And he is mentoring. He's putting together mentorship programs in his area. There's another young man that's in California. There's another young man that's in my hometown of Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. And I love to see the fact that these men are stepping up. All I did was ask, and they are stepping up saying absolutely, because we know it is required for us to show our youth what they don't show them in school. So right now, I am loving the fact that our brothers have stood up and said, yes, absolutely. I don't have a problem with it. Right now, I wish I had the time to
For the
mentor.
young brothers, definitely mathematics,
Oh, yes. And
mathematics,
science.
electronics. Because you'll find a lot of science in them in that electronic study. As a matter of fact, you'll learn trig, you'll learn algebra. You're gonna learn a whole lot of different things when it comes to even just lighting the light bulb.
Absolutely. And then I'm looking, if you're out there and you're listening, please reach out, because we really are looking for mentors for our young ladies as well. We have so many young ladies who they're so busy watching social media and thinking that social media and belittling ourselves is the way to go. And they aren't realizing their true potential of being queens. And so I'm really looking for some ladies who are willing, some aunties that are willing to reach out and be a part of helping these young ladies to see that going to college, and whether you go to college or not, but putting yourself in a position so that you are able to take care of yourself without thinking that you have to have someone else take care of you is, in my opinion, the way to go. Now, I'm not saying you don't need a man. No, that is never my stance on life, because I've been married for 27 years and I'm proud of that. Um, so I will encourage anyone, if you find a partner, make it happen. But I need our young ladies to understand that you don't have to be what they say they want you to be because television told them a vision, and the music industry is telling them that they have to uh, carry themselves in a certain kind of way. They don't. The music industry and the television understand this. You know, be responsible for what you're putting out, because these children are listening and they're learning it from somewhere. And every one of us, we are on devices right now, and our children are on devices. But what are they watching? What are they seeing? So it's up to us as the elders, because now we are the elders, to make sure and ensure that those that are coming behind us have the tools that they need in order to be okay. You're not going to be okay living and learning only what they want you to live and learn. We've got to reach back out to our communities and make sure that these young people understand that all is not lost. All is not lost. That's right, Bunny. We have to mentor them when they are young, so they can, they say raise a child in the way that you want them to go. We have to start from the time that they're able to walk. And unfortunately, there are so many parents who are busy just, trying to keep food on the table and the lights on. And I'm praying that we can find some young ladies and some aunties and some young adults who are willing to reach back and help that 14, 15, 16-year-old to see that, there is something other than, what you
That
see
falls in
on
the
social
age of
media.
Aquarius, where where the male and the female need to come together to raise the child.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Salutations. Most of us, we were raised with both our parents, or we knew our parents. And I had a pretty good childhood, but I sit back and I'm not oblivious to those who didn't. And I pray for them, because that's hard as a child to not see what you need to see in order to be okay as an adult, you know? And we as adults, we are having to witness some things right now. Imagine how these young adults are feeling right now. I'm seeing a lot of them crash out on social media because, they have the feeling as to, you guys screwed us. Look at what we've done. And unfortunately, they bought into the lie, and they went and they didn't think that what he said he was going to do, he was going to do. They didn't think that Heritage Foundation was real, and it is. And now they're finding out, and they're upset. I saw one young man say, "You guys expect us to work until we're in our 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Well, all you had to do was vote for the Black woman. That's it. That's all you had to do was
Well,
vote."
see, I'm trying, and I'm glad you said that. My goal is to help people retire at 59.
Well, that's
59
in
and a
4 years,
half.
Mr. Salutation. That is 4 years from now. What you got for me?
Kitty is ready. She said, "Let me know.
I'm
Tell me
ready.
your secret." I got 4 years. Tell
But
it
see,
to me.
your contribution to your fund is going to be substantially higher than a 20-year-old or 25-year-old.
Oh, I understand, Mr. Salutation.
But
You're
you know
absolutely
what? I
correct.
I feel the same way. I say, well, hell, I might as well just go ahead and hustle up and just fit. It's what seven $7,600 a month for, I think it's either 5 or 7 years. And when you after you get that last year in, you don't have to put nothing else in it. It's gonna just keep rolling with compound interest.
And
That's
that's
in,
through is that through insurance, life insurance?
no, that's through IR. I do annuities too.
Annuities. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes,
Yeah,
where you can
that's a
you can have
great
an account
option.
that's not a bank account. It's your account and it has no cap. No
Mm,
cap.
mm.
It's your personal. It's you. It's your thing. You watch it. You talk to the advisor from time to time. Say, is everything cool? Boom, and forget it. Also, people can draw little slush funds. Take 15% of your money that you work for, that you pull in every single time you come in the house. Take 15% of that and put it away and leave it alone, like you never seen it before in your life. Ignore it like you ignore. Okay, I'm not gonna go political.
I was
Just
gonna
do that.
say.
You do that over and over and over again. Before you know it, you got you a nice little what $1,000 slush fund right there. Take that, throw it into or you can just start very low. You can go $25 a week to put into like a money market, and then after it matures after you get it to a certain point, start putting them into your mutual funds. Some of them funds run all night. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm just basically, I would love to give the people what I got in this between these two crazy years. That's it.
I
We
agree.
need we need you to come and teach these things. So
We
now we
really
have two
do.
platforms you can teach it on. You can teach it on here. You can teach it on TikTok, on
See,
our
because
place.
what I'll tell you, if you know what your with the rule of 72, what your interest rate is gonna be, and how you know how much the amount of time that it takes for your money to double, you think about how you want to invest. It helps you. It's a tool to help you because the banks, all they do is they give you 1%, and
Hmm.
it takes like 40 years for your money to double. But if you get something doing it yourself, 12%, you know, divided into 12. That's how many years it'll take. And the higher that the interest rate goes, that's the higher it take. That's the shorter time it takes for your money to double.
Yeah, Mr. Salutation, you definitely need to start teaching those courses because a lot of people need to tune in. You know, this is information that we need as a whole, as a
If you take it on as
community.
a business opportunity, there's multiple tax breaks in that. You get
Absolutely.
like 20. I thought it was like 26. I have to look again, but it's like 26 um, tax breaks that you get on. Run your business.
You
But
gotta
I'll talk about that later down the road because I
you
got to
gotta
do that.
you gotta fix their credit first. But you know what I'm saying, you gotta fix their credit first. You
Fix the
can't give
credit.
them extra money and fix their
You
credit.
fix the credit. You fix your credit for buying things.
Hmm.
This is about putting your scratch away safe. This is what this is about.
But along
This
with
is
fixing
about
their
you can
credit,
see it, and if you see anything go wrong, you had you had that shit, you know,
yeah,
like
but along with
24
fixing their
hours.
credit, you build that discipline. Some people just don't have that discipline. They think, money, a credit card is a loan, and they don't understand just a simple thing. So, give them the basics and let them know that these steps are important. But I want to remind everybody you listen to WKRA 92.7, The Change. This is our plugs, the community connection with DJ Kitty and Morningstar. We got Miss Jack right now, Mrs. Salutation, and we appreciate you listening in. Make sure you subscribe to our plugs here on YouTube and all the other platforms. All right, we're on Instagram as well, Facebook, TikTok. Go on those platforms and subscribe and make sure that you send a message, especially if you have any questions. But make sure you go to www.ourplugs.com and create an account. It's free. If you want to register your business, you could go ahead and do that as well. If you want to search for any businesses minority owned in your area, you can search through the website. And if you have, like I said, any questions, send a message through that website and we'll get back with you. Yeah, we appreciate everybody for the support and we are going to keep it going. Miss Kitty, do we have a commercial break coming up?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Ali. Ali keeps us on our toes. I will be over here just listening and forget. But let me go ahead and go to commercial break. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Ain't nothing wrong.
And we are back. We are back. So it's right at, we've got about 15 more minutes before the show's going to end. We're going to give a few more minutes. Mrs. Jack, do you have a couple more questions? And then we're going to say our closing and bid everybody good night. But go ahead, Mrs. Jack. You have a question or you want me to go?
I have my question for Mr. Salutations.
Okay.
One thing we did learn about you is that you just went to school and you got you educated yourself more about insurance and types of insurance that people need. And I think that's another thing that our community needs to start learning at an early age. So my question is, what type of insurance do you suggest as someone that's starting out and someone that has family?
Who's starting out?
Yes, like your first insurance policy, like when you have your kids when they get a certain age, and then you get married, like family.
You would get it depends on the person. First I would have to do a financial needs analysis,
Mm-hmm.
which is free, but I'll tell you the conditions later. the that usually costs somewhere around $800, but you get it free, and then that will once you get your 49 page, it's like a GPS, and what it does is it guides you through all of your income and what you take in, what you take, what goes out, and what you can put into what, like you know, put $100 into a mutual fund for for kids, to save for college or whatever. You do, it's it's hard to explain all at one time, but
I know. I just want the gist of it because I know they would
but
come to you and
before
you can
you,
explain it to them, right?
yes, before you go into um, talking about what type of life insurance that you take, you need to get it's a monetary GPS. So what it does is it's called a financial needs analysis, and you tell yourself how much money do you want when you retire, right? The financial needs analysis will go through your income, what bills you pay, all that stuff, and it'll give you a 49-page analysis and you know things like that.
Okay.
You would be able to determine right there. Say you want $3 million when you retire, it would give you something called a fin, a financial independence number, and you would have to pay that, into your life or whatever, into your insurances and your annuities or whatever. And at some point, it builds up to whatever it gives you the number that you pay to get to the number that you're looking for. So if it's $3 million, it's going to tell you, yeah, such and such. You pay into that. That's how them boys. That's how all them little rappers got rich. They put into this kind of stuff. See, we
Into
don't.
life insurance,
They like, yes, life insurances. Sometimes,
business insurance,
yeah, but what they do is they overpay the premium and turn them into mechs. I'll get it.
And what's a MEX? What is that, Mr. Salutation?
What it is it's no longer a life insurance. It's a financial tool.
oh,
Wow.
okay, like an investment tool.
See, the thing is it's almost immoral to do that. A lot
Sounds
of
like
insurance companies don't want them to do that. They just want them to pay the regular premium and keep it going like it's supposed to be going. And you can't change it back.
Oh, okay.
okay. My
You
So
can't,
second
there's
question.
so you can't
go
change
ahead.
it back into a life insurance policy. It's a
Oh
mech.
my. Hmm.
So you know basically like all the stuff that we do, we have to pay. Uh, like if it's on a fixed rate, it may give you a fixed rate for 15 years.
Hmm.
Term is all term is you're going to get your death, your whatever the death benefit, your kids or whoever. Some people do term decreasing term where you put it on a house, and the amount of the as you pay into it, it pays the like you pay into your house, and the
Hmm.
price of the house goes down, so does the insurance. So if
That was
anything
leading into
happens,
my other question: the difference between whole insurance,
whole life
whole life
has
and
a
term.
money element.
Yeah,
Whole
whole
life,
life and term. That's what I wanted to explain to everybody about the whole
well,
life.
term is just the insurance. Whole life has a savings element on it. So as
Mm.
you pay into the whole life policy, you start growing money after a certain amount of time, and then as you pay into it, it keeps growing, and it's growing interest, and it just keeps going and going and going. And
Okay.
you have your death benefit. But if you take any money off that, take a payment loan or whatever off of that thing, it's going to take from, if something happens, it takes from that benefit.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that makes
So
Thank you
it's
for
kind of
sense.
like,
explaining that to people.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said, thank you for explaining that to people. Some people don't know the difference in the whole life and then the term
And I didn't.
insurances.
And I didn't.
But see, here's the kicker with whole life. If you take that loan out, and even if you don't, you're not gonna get that. If something happened, they're just gonna pay what the death benefit is. They're not gonna give you that money. They keep that.
Wow.
So
So
you want
how
to
would
take
you get it? How would you get it, Mr. Salutation?
Some people, draw it all the way down and say, well, they just cheapen their funeral and cheapen the money that goes to the family that needs to keep going on. So it takes that money away from them. You see what I'm saying?
I
Mm-hmm.
do.
So
I
if
do.
you got $1 million, I mean not million is high, $150,000 thing, and 75,000 is taken out.
Oh yeah.
You see
The
what I'm
one
saying?
last thing I wanted people to understand too is before you decide on insurance, you also have to decide a budget, how much of your income you can spend on life insurance or whatever type of insurance too. So I just want to put that part out there too.
Absolutely. So I want to say this because we're about to wrap up the show, Mr. Salutations. I'm gonna need you to come back. We're gonna need you to come back and break down insurance, and we'll go do a deeper dive into it. I want you guys to follow Mr. Salutations. He's on TikTok. He has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to insurance, when it comes to this financial game. And I really and truly am looking forward to seeing how this community, how we build our community up enough and we start bringing in our youth and those who need understanding. We bring them on in so that they can get this knowledge because we have to do it. If
We
we
have to
don't
do so. If you want young people, what was gonna have to happen is it's got to almost look like TikTok. You know what I'm saying? All
yeah,
colorful and all that. All the
That is true.
brilliant minds.
that's
Because
true.
You have to
if
keep their attention.
you got to keep the attention,
Absolutely.
because
So
it
Mr.
is not funny. It's not fun. What
Mr.
what people
Salutations, I'm going to ask for your parting words because we're about to wrap the show. So if you can give us your last few words before we wrap up, I'd appreciate it. Then I'll go to Ollie Gold, Mrs. Jack, and then I'll close out the show.
And
Go ahead.
also, Mrs. Salutation, where can they find you? If they have any other questions, where can they reach you?
Yes, absolutely.
when I'm gonna be getting into my
Our
plugs real
plugs.
soon here. Our plugs. I'm sorry. Good Lord. Y'all are my plugs. Anyway. Anyway, and I'll be putting that information on. I'm not kicking off everything just yet. But I got all my technology that the fan bases and the signals uh, and the lemonades and you know. But
All the things that you need.
I'm very very wary. Okay, now I'll make it quick. I'm very very wary about TikTok. I'd rather connect with people outside of that, so
Absolutely.
it becomes less of a dependence. I'm a
Yeah.
level 34. Shoot, all I do is help people.
Yeah.
I think the highest I got is like 250 coins. I was like, woohoo! Now, anyway,
Yeah.
people, brothers would fight each other in the street, but they won't fight a test. That
Yeah.
that amazes me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to put
Absolutely.
the work in. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna, but hey, if my old ass can do it, you can do it. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Salutations. I want to thank you again for joining us tonight. I look forward to you coming back and spreading more knowledge. I
Yes, ma'am.
truly appreciate you. Um, and I can't wait to see where we all go with this. I can't wait to see you inside of our plugs and helping all of those who need the help, plain and
Right on.
simple. Thank you so much. Ali
Right on.
Gold, any parting words? Thank you, Mr. Salutations.
We are living in a kakistocracy. Kakistocracy, where the least and the least experience of us are running the country. So make sure that you know more than the person who is running the country and may affect your life. All right. Like I said, do remember to make sure you subscribe to our plugs. Type in our plugs LLC on YouTube. Go to TikTok. Go to Facebook, Instagram, all the other platforms. Search for our plugs. Make sure you follow, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Make sure you subscribe to also the MacMan Morning Show, and follow Mr. Sanitation. Give him a follow. Give Miss Kitty a follow. Give the Miss Jack a follow, and give Morningstar a follow. Even though she's not here, she's in the streets in the comments. All right, so make sure you give her a follow as well, and we appreciate everybody on this side of the live, and also on the morning show. We're streaming there as well. So if you can't find information for Mr. Sanitation, make sure you type in Our Plugs LLC. Go to our description for this live, and you'll see his information, and you could contact him.
You will find it at the end of next week.
Yes, and that's just TikTok, and he'll update his information in Our Plugs, and so we appreciate everybody coming through. And make sure you do something good and say something nice.
Thank you, Ali Go. Go ahead, Mrs. Jack.
My final thoughts are Our Plugs is about connecting communities. We can start by spending time with each other, building and learning from each other, so that we can start new businesses and leave legacies for the new generation. Put them in a good position so that they don't have to fight at the beginning of their lives. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sis. My final thoughts, I'm going to keep it really simple. It looks like that I just got breaking news that the new administration has decided to, they've decided to tell health agencies to suspend all public communications on what's going on as far as health-wise. My plea to all of you is to put your mask back on. Without any type of protection and our government not telling us what's going on, it is up to us to be proactive. Drink your water, get your exercise in, eat as healthy as you can, try and stay grounded, try and stay safe. I want to thank everyone for coming in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please join Our Plugs, www.ourplugs.com. Create you a general a general membership. Put your business in there, and let's go and let's grow. I appreciate you all, Mr. Mack. Thank you for this opportunity. I can never thank you enough.
Well, thank you. Hey, listen, I want to say something before you sign off. And I want to say to your wonderful panel, listen, we're going somewhere, folks, with this. It's going to take work. It's going to take dedication. But I'm telling you, somebody out there is listening, and it's more than just one or a few. And the message that our plugs have, since being connected with our plugs, let me tell you something. The story hasn't been told yet, and I'm just grateful to be at the table with you. Great and wonderful people. Ali Go, you know you man, you the man. I'll tell you about that later, but we're going to support you 100%, Miss Kitty and Miss Morningstar, and Miss Jack, and everybody that's in there, all of the wonderful people in the chat. Thank you for supporting our sister, and let's go forward and do what we do. I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead, Madam Host. It's your show.
You've listened to Our Plugs, the Community Connection, WKRA 92.7, The Change, the MacMan Morning Show. We appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you. You guys have a great night. We will be back on the air on Friday, 6:30 Central Standard Time. We will be discussing small businesses, and we have a treat. We'll have a couple businesses in here so we can shout them out and let people see what we're really about. So if you're interested, come on, show up. Let's grab something smooth and warm to drink, and let's have a good time. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's support our communities, and let's keep keeping on. Thank you so much.
flow. Chords all tangled tight. No sparks, just a faint glow. Silent whispers fill the night. Disconnected from the start. No current to ignite. Fumbling in the dark, searching for the light. Our plugs and our dreams, no